What's up, y'all? Erroneous here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Welcome to 2025. This is going to be a video on Cursed City and how, if you're an early to mid game player, or even an end game or late game player as well, how much gear could you expect to get from essentially going through and beating as many bosses as possible. I've purposely made it so that I didn't beat every single boss on the normal Cursed City, so I can go through them one city at a time. We're going to go to Cobble Market. We're going to go to Dead Rise. We're going to go over to Plague Home, as well as Soulcross as our last stop. So this is going to be cut up into a few different videos in one. So I'll have to do a few different takes, mash it all together for you. So we're going to first start off today. Now, of course, I had to beat some of these bosses because I had to make my way into the next areas. It would have just taken way too long for me to make videos over time and mash them all together over like a week or two. So what I did was I did beat some bosses. I beat the Scarab boss here already. I beat this one. Basically ones that are connected to the next city I had to beat in order, or if I had to open up the pathway to the next opening here, to the next bosses and stages, I did have to beat a boss or two. So 1, 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6 bosses I had to beat in total in order to open up all the other boss stages. So I'm going to be beating every other boss stage. So yes, we're missing out on 6 boss stages of gear that you could have seen. I didn't make video recordings or take screenshots of the gear that I got, but a lot of people do say that, oh, you don't get good gear at all. And hopefully this video can either prove you wrong or prove you right. I think, for one, that any player, early, mid game, late game, even end game, should be farming, going through and beating every single stage of Cursed City normal as well as hard. And don't forget that you can also beat up Amius. Amius is also considered a boss. So in the end of this video, I will also take down Amius. I'm not going to go through all the runs and how to beat them and stuff in this video. That's not the point of this video. The point of the video is how much gear can you get from Merciless and or Supersonic, mainly Merciless, from all the boss stages. All right, so first up, we're going to go into this boss here. Again, this isn't about which champions can you or can't you use. It's just about beating the bosses. I can beat the bosses, no problem. I'm not going to showcase every single boss battle because it just doesn't make sense for me to do that. It's kind of more of a waste of time because we want to get down to the nitty-gritty details of what gear will we be getting. Okay, so I'm going to come to the end of this and I'll show you which gear we get from these two bosses. Oh, wow, that's really quick. So we got 1 6-star piece, Merciless, 1 5-star, Merciless Epic, 1 rare, Merciless Epic. So this one, again, also consider how many Chaos Ore do you have on your account. So if you have Epic 5-star and you get triple rolls and you Chaos Ore it, it could be good. We've got crit rate. A lot of people that are early and mid game, you'd probably still want to keep this because you want a double crit rate roll. And then hope that you can get speed, attack percent, crit damage, so on and so forth after that. Speed and HP. A lot of early game players would keep this piece. Not end game, but early game, maybe even mid game, you might keep this piece to finish off a set. And a good set would be 6 pieces minimum, because 6 pieces minimum is going to give you 35% ignore defense in Merciless gear. So keep that. Go on to the next boss. We've got Tainted Scavag. Let's beat him and let's get to the end. All right, we're done with Tainted Scavag. Here we go. We've got Boots Supersonic. These ones are trash personally. If you wanted to try to, try your luck on utilizing Chaos or Epic, you could try to re-roll this into speed, but personally, I wouldn't do that. Attack percent, Merciless Chestplate. Because it's a more for attack champions as compared to your other champs, not saying that you can't use Merciless on HP-based champions or on defense-based champions. It's just going to be better on your attack-based champions in general. It's meant for them. But attack percent is something that an early game player would want to keep. Preferably, you'd want crit rate and speed on these substats. I wouldn't keep that piece because I'm endgame. Again, a gauntlet, you'd have to potentially chaos ore. If you get a double or triple roll, if you're early game, here's a chaos ore right with it. So you could potentially chaos ore into crit damage 5-star gauntlets. Let's move on to the double boss for C20. All right, so here's the end of the double boss C20. Supersonic, speed. Early game, you want to get a double roll speed. Speed, HP flat, and resistance. Not really the best for Merciless. You'd want to triple speed roll or get just a triple roll and then re-roll it with some Chaos Ore. Crit rate, crit damage. Early game, this is a good piece. If you can get double roll crit rate or double roll crit damage, preferably double roll crit rate, and then speed for the additional substats, and then attack percent would be a perfect piece. Let's move on to the next boss here. So the last boss we have for Cobble Market is this double boss, stage C18. Let's do it. All right, we're already done with this stage. Here we go. We got some boots. Will it be speed or attack percent? No, it's not. Do we get another Chaos 5-star ore? This one's not really great. You want speed on Supersonic, and you mainly use Supersonic for your support champions. A great champion to have this on for support would be Armands with Stone Skin 1 turn and Supersonic 4-piece. Crit damage with defense flat, something that I would triple roll, hopefully, and then use a Chaos Ore on. So far, nothing that's great out of the gate, but decent pieces. That's only Cobble Market. This is the beginning stages, so you really don't get as good of gear in Cobble Market as compared to the stages as you get further and further and further into the harder stages of Curse City. So let's start off with beating down Dead Rise. So we're going to go over to this boss first. We got Tainted Firel as well as the, whatever this dude is, Griffin. Let's do it. All right, we're back. We beat another one. This time we're starting to get legendary pieces. We've got 3 Supersonic and 1 Merciless. Speed is what you want on Supersonic. You want a triple or a quad roll. That would be the best. If you're early game, you can settle for a single or a double roll of speed. But you're looking for speed. Speed wins this game. Speed, and then you're looking for other substats. If you're really just starting out in Curse City and you're just trying to get some pieces of gear, then yeah, you could potentially keep pieces that don't have speed, but you really want speed on your gear. So that's a decent piece. This one, not so good, no speed, but again, you're getting Chaos Ore throughout Curse City. That's epic. If you get a triple roll, you can re-roll it and hope for triple speed or triple of other substats that are positively affecting your champions. Nothing really great to shake a stick at here, but let's move on to the next boss. So we've got the dragon and we've got another spider here. The boss guide is Tainted Sivkavag as well as Koldath. So let's hop in and we'll be right back once we beat these bosses. All right, here we go. Even more legendary gear. Like I said, we're only in Dead Rise, but we're already starting to pick up legendary 5-star gear rather than the rare and low-level epic 5-star gear. So HP with speed. Supersonic though. If you get triple speed, it's good for a support champion early and mid game. HP percent on Supersonic boots, you're really looking for resistance and speed on the substats for Supersonic, or you're looking for accuracy and speed for the substats for a Supersonic HP percent boot. However, could you keep this? Yes. Say you got a triple or a quad roll on resistance or accuracy, and then you ascend the boot into speed or HP percent, it's still salvageable, but you're going to have to chuck that as you get into late game and end game because you're going to get way better boots in the future. We've got crit rate and defense percent, hoping for speed here. That's kind of the trifecta on 5-star pieces. This is not the best piece. If you get a triple crit rate, it could be salvageable for mid game or for early game. Late game, you're probably not going to keep this unless it triples, and then you re-roll it into speed. Another piece here, you're going to want to quad roll this one or triple roll it, and then you're going to want to Chaos Ore it into speed. If not, then it's really not that great of a piece for end game players, but for earlier game players, it might be salvageable depending on your account progression. Let's move on to the next boss. All right, so we've got the Bommel boss as well as the Ice Golem boss. Here we go. Something to note here is in full auto in Curse City, for some reason, your champions attack the bombs, so you have to actually target the boss to ensure that you're actually getting the right kills here. And there we go. So we've got all Merciless in one piece, actually, one piece of Supersonic. And this time we get a legendary 5-star Chaos Ore. So we've got crappy piece here, could be re-rolled. HP percent with crit rate high roll on a 5-star. 6% is the highest you can get on a 5-star, I believe. So if you triple roll crit rate, it could be salvageable if you get speed or crit damage at the end. Or you could just try to re-roll this and hope for better stats. This one here, you'd want to re-roll this with a Chaos Ore. And guess what? We got a Chaos Ore right here, but it needs to get a triple or a quad to re-roll, or you need to be double on the substats if you're early mid-game. If you just get 1, 1, 1, 1, even early game, I probably wouldn't re-roll this just because it's such a bad piece, and you could most likely end up getting another flat stat when re-rolling and not getting speed or attack percent or defense percent or HP percent, because that would be a really bad gamble. You want to gamble when you have triple rolls on substats, quad rolls on substats. That's when you gamble these Chaos Ores. This last one here, no speed. Personally, I would just chuck this one out. But in the end, I'll go back into the tavern and I'll showcase to you all the pieces of gear I accumulated and go from there. Here's the last boss for Dead Rise. And we've got, what is it, Koldath? No, Irigoth. So Irigoth boss for the dragon. Let's go in. We'll come back to you once we win. All right, we're back. We ended up getting 4 merciless pieces. Did we get anything good though? HP flat, not good. Defense flat, not good, but we could triple roll. You never know. Crit damage with defense percent. If this was speed, this would be a solid piece for a mid-game or late-game player. Speed and attack percent. This could be a good piece if it double rolls speed and then you get crit rate and crit damage in the end. Good for early, mid-game, and some late-game players. Eventually, it will fall off and not be a part of your account. So that was 8 runs. We're halfway through already. How do you think we did so far? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. But we've still got Plague Home, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bosses here, as well as Soulcross with 1, 2, 3, 4 more bosses. So in total, we have 10 more bosses. So it is going to take 3 days minimum to beat all those bosses. It would typically take 4 days minimum if I was able to not have to worry about killing some of these bosses to open up other stages, because I would have had more bosses in the end. But I think this is a respectable amount of bosses to showcase how much merciless or supersonic gear you can expect from normal Curse City. And again, a lot of this depends on RNG. It's all luck, right? You could get 6-star pieces of gear from these fights, right? That are epic or even legendary. But I just didn't get lucky this time around. So in my next fights, which is coming up soon, I'll showcase to you the rest of these bosses. And I want to come back to the tavern here just to showcase all the gear that I acquired just from doing those stages, those 8 bosses. Here's all the gear that I acquired. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be great gear or going to be gear that you can keep on your account. It's very dependent on your level of progression on your account. But here's how I would do it. Now, the unfortunate part is the artifact enhancement doesn't start until 12 hours. So please leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it because I am wasting resources to showcase you, the viewer, what you can expect. I'm not going to wait till tomorrow because I'll probably accidentally go into my tavern, go through my gear by tomorrow, and then lose all the red dots on the gear. So what you'd want on this piece: supersonic, triple resistance, quad resistance. For my account, this is already a chuck. I would not keep it. It's not going to benefit my account whatsoever. However, for somebody that's earlier mid-game, you might consider keeping it if you get a triple roll on res, or maybe you get a couple rolls on speed, even though that's a very low roll for a substat for speed, because maybe you're just trying to complete a set, okay? And for supersonic, at 4 pieces, fills this champion's turn meter by 2% for each buff on each enemy, which can allow you to potentially go second in a fight, especially in live arena, any arena area of the game. And then with 6 pieces, decreases turn meter effects placed on by enemies on this champion are 30% less effective, which is good against someone like an Armand's, right? So that's not too bad. This piece here, I wouldn't personally roll it because my account doesn't need 5-star. I would chuck it. So a piece that I would potentially reroll is Epic if it triple rolls, and then it would have to be speed as the substat. So this is a situation where I literally have 22 of these Epic pieces. However, on my account, I'm so endgame at this point, I don't typically keep 5-star Epic gear. This is just for showcases for you, the viewer, okay? Could you get speed? It's possible. Is this a decent piece? It's decent. This is actually great for any early game player. You're probably going to keep this piece for at least up until the late game with triple HP percent because you want to have as much HP as possible on your revivers, right? And you want to have speed and you want to have defense percent. So a lot of people would end up keeping this. Me personally, I don't need it. But it's just a showcase to you guys, just to show you what you're looking for. This piece right here, I wouldn't keep it unless it triples into speed. Again, for others out there, you may not do this. You may keep it if you're early game because you want to get as much speed rolls as possible. It's all dependent on your progression. Again, for me, I need triple speed only on my account. So like this is a chuck, and I could end up having no gear in the end. Whereas some people could have 1 or 2 pieces of these gear in the end. Again, this one for me is a chuck because I would want triple or quad roll on legendary 5-star gear, re-roll it, and have it be hopefully speed. This one here, so far not a single salvageable supersonic. So there's double, like I said earlier, if someone got a triple or a quad roll on accuracy or resistance, then it could be something they would want to consider re-rolling. For someone that's endgame like myself, I probably will have to think about keeping this one, right? Because it has no speed on it. Could it be good for someone like an Armand's or someone that's a support champion? Yes, potentially it could be. But like I said, this would have to quad roll for me. And then I would need to get speed as the ascension bonus because it gives 9 speed. Or HP percent, which I believe it gives 13% HP. So this is one potential salvageable piece for me. It's not great, but I personally would probably want to re-roll it. But it's not the best piece for my account, to be honest. I might even just throw it away. This one here would need to double crit rate for people. Okay, this one for me is not salvageable. And then for some people that are early game, early enough, they might just keep it because they don't have any Merciless on their account. Again, all 5-star gear for me needs to triple at the least. At the least. For your account, you may not need that. This one's not good for me. So like most of this gear, I would end up chucking. This is rare. I wouldn't even give it any time of day on my account. This one here, again, Epic, it would need to triple, which it didn't. It's rare. I would just legit chuck it out. Okay, 5-star, this would need to triple. Again, there's 2, and there is not 3. Okay, so that's a chuck. So see what I'm doing here? You kind of get the gist. Again, it's also dependent on your progression level. Okay, so this one, triple? Nope. This one, triple? Probably not. Okay, maybe. Let's see. And there you go. So we would definitely go ahead and try to rework. Defense percent, triple attack flat. All right, it's ruined. It's ruined. That's a terrible reroll. Now we've got ourselves a flat stat defense, which again would need to triple roll on something, which it didn't. 5-star, 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 no triple, gone. This one's 5-star, gone. One legendary piece left. Would re-roll this. Has to get at least a double or a triple for me, which probably won't even end up rolling well, so I'm going to actually chuck it. So all in all, out of those first 8 stages, I only got one piece that could be potentially salvageable on my account. Personally, it's probably going to end up getting thrown away, or I'm just going to put it on a really low level champion for faction wars or general progression in PvE. This is not going to be a very, very god tier piece of gear for my level of live arena or arena gameplay. So that's just me. So we're going to move on to the other parts of Cursed City. All right, y'all, we're back. Day 2 of the Cursed City normal mode. And I've already beaten the Cobble Market as well as the Dead Rise. So we're going to take it over to Plague Home. Start focusing on all these bosses. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 bosses here. So let's hop in. Let's get some dubskis. I basically just go in with this one just with R-Tac. If I want to speed it up, I can. Not a big deal for me. So I'll just do this. Marius does the big hits, and then R-Tac does the HP burn, and then we just watch them tick down. So I'm going to come back to you once I beat this stage. We'll take a look at what we get for some gear. All right, we're back. Here we go. We've got Supersonic 5-star, trash, speed and accuracy, crit damage, 6-star, and then this one's trash. So these pieces are not great, but we'll go back into the tavern later on. Let's hop into Astranix, the Dark Fae, get her destroyed, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We got all merciless pieces, and then we got 2 5-star Epic Chaos Ore. Speed and crit damage would be great for an early game player for 5-star. HP flat with crit rate, meh. HP flat with speed and accuracy, also kind of meh. I mean, you could do a 6-star Epic Chaos Ore if you wanted to reroll. Merciless is very strong gear. I don't highly recommend that, but you could. This is good for an early game player. It's got HP percent, crit rate, and crit damage. Crit rate, crit damage have high rolls here, which is not bad. Pull it, try to get triple crit rate or triple crit damage on this piece, and then hope for speed for the last substat. Personally, on my account, though, I'm not going to keep this piece of gear because I'm looking for 6-star only on my account since I'm so end game. But not bad for an earlier mid-game player there, right? Let's hop into the double boss here, and then we'll be right back. All right, that was a quick fight, 25 seconds. We're back. We got defense percent with res and accuracy. Personally, I'm not keeping it on my account. Accuracy with attack percent, okay for early game, mid game. This one's not that great unless it triple rolls and re-rolls into speed only. And then this one's not a great salvageable piece. Even though it's 6-star, it doesn't have speed or crit rate on it or crit damage. Let's go on to this next boss here, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Here we go. We've got Merciless 5-star, decent gear again for a mid-game player if you're looking for some Merciless pieces, right, to finish off a set. Supersonic, not the best piece. It needs speed and HP percent or speed and res. This one does have speed, so if it quad rolled speed, even on my account, this would be a keepable, salvageable piece. This one here is the perfect piece, even though it's 5-star. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. We got ourselves one of the best Merciless gauntlets on my entire account, even though it's 5-star. It's got crit damage with the perfect substats. Crit rate, which is a high roll. Attack percent, which is a mid roll. And speed, which is a mid roll as well. So this is not bad at all. This is not bad at all. That is a salvageable piece. This is what I'm looking for right here. This goes on an attack-based damage dealer. Very strong. If it can triple crit, triple speed, triple attack, probably the worst, but triple speed or triple crit is what we would be looking for here. And that is workable. That is workable on all of my champions on my entire account, okay? This is a piece that I will pretty much never get rid of because it will be a hand-me-down piece. So this is definitely a piece that I would not ever get rid of. Let's go. All right, let's hop on to the next boss. Here we go. So we'll do this fight. We'll be right back. All right, a very quick fight on this one. We've got HP percent for a chest plate with crit damage and accuracy. This is a good piece for an early mid-game player. Again, this is a great piece, right? Because even though it doesn't have speed, it's still a salvageable piece. If you can get double crit damage, would be nice, and you just want a speed roll. If you can get a speed roll, this is good for a long time on your account for an HP percent chest plate. Good for faction wars, right? This one here is not great. It would have to quad roll, and then I have to re-roll it. This one here would have to triple roll. It's not a salvageable piece for me on my account because it's the lowest roll for speed. This one here, crit rate, crit damage, and defense. Pretty much the highest rolls besides crit damage that you can get for a 6-star supersonic. I would have to triple roll and then re-roll it into speed in order to keep this piece. I did also get a 5-star legendary Chaos Ore, which is not bad. We've unlocked the Eclipse Tower, baby. Let's go. We'll save Amius for last. We've got 3 more here, and then we're going to move. So we got this one, and then we're going to move into the Soulcross, which is the hardest area for normal and for hard mode to fight, especially S19, S18, S20, and S14, and S21 as well. So let's go on to this boss here, Tainted Clysis. We're going to take him down, and we'll go ahead and show you the gear. All right, we're back. Here we go. We've got a chest plate, attack flat. Again, if it tripled, you could re-roll a chest plate with Merciless gear. It's 5-star rare supersonic, not something I would keep. 5-star. If this was speed with crit rate, crit damage, 5-star Merciless, definitely a great piece, right? But personally, I'm not going to keep that. Crit rate, crit damage, speed, and defense. For early mid-game, you might consider keeping this because it has speed, crit damage, all good substats, but for Supersonic, you're mainly using Supersonic on your supporting champions as compared to your damage dealers. Now, you can use Supersonic on damage dealers to try to get the edge on your opponent if you're trying to go second. You could put it on someone like a Sun Wukong 4-piece. Fills the champ's turn meter by 2% each buff on each enemy. And that would be if you want Sun Wukong to be like a pseudo buff stripper or full buff strip, like support Wukong, or some damage with support Wukong like I have on my account. So not bad here. We got 2 more left. Let's go up here. We're going to start off now in Soulcross, baby. So we've already done Iron Twins because we had to open up this area. We've already done Sand Devil because we had to open up this area. And those were the 2 bosses that I did end up beating already. But let's go into this one. We're going to beat this boss, this double boss in Soulcross, and see what we can get from the hardest area in Curse City for normal mode. All right, we're back. We've got ourselves a 5-star here. Very good piece, actually. Crit rate 6%, defense 5%. Low on the speed, though. If this was 6 speed, this would have been like amazing. Even for my account, because I don't have a lot of defense nuking gear on my account. This one here, attack percent, no speed. You know, we don't like to see it. Attack percent, crit damage, HP. I'd want to triple roll. Hopefully get a reroll into speed. And we got ourselves an epic book. This one I'd probably chuck. All right, 1 more stage, and then we're going to come back to you on the last day after I take a look at our wares for today. So which one do I want to do first? Let's go ahead and do the Tainted Pyro. Let's see what we get from stage S17 Tainted Pyro, and we'll be right back. All right, Tainted Pyro down. Not a single Merciless piece, but we got a lot of Supersonic. Do we have speed, though? This one I would want to try to quad roll and then re-roll it. This one, same thing. This one would be a chuck. This one, speed and res. This is great on Supersonic for support champions. Speed res, speed HP percent, speed defense percent, preferably speed and res and speed and HP percent. But you'd want to double roll into speed here in order to keep it as a salvageable piece, at least for my account, for endgame. But I might even consider chucking it because I have so much other supersonic gear. And on my account, I'm trying to look for triple and quad rolls at this point. So I probably would chuck this out. But other players, if you're early, mid-game, even into late game, a lot of people would end up keeping this if it double rolls into speed. So there you have it. Day 2. We actually did get ourselves a salvageable piece here on day 2 with a gauntlet for our Merciless. For me, I'm honestly going to be chucking most of this stuff out. At least I don't really care about 5-star Supersonic or 6-star Rare. So it automatically goes down to like this up here. And then for down here, I don't need this crappy Rare pieces on my account. So I would chuck all those. And this is what we're left with. And I have one more Rare here that I don't need. So this is the best one that's the most salvageable. Let's go straight up to 12 and see what we get. Okay, speed and double attack. It's not terrible. It's not amazing. We did go ahead and get the +5, which is great. Let's see if we can get crit damage with crit damage. We didn't get it, so that's unfortunate. But eventually we'll re-roll it into crit damage. And this is a strong piece on my account. HP percent last. Okay. Like I said, I stay getting good HP percent pieces on the account. Let's go ahead and slap a couple in there. All right. So one of my best pieces of gear on my account. Why? Let me go ahead and just now roll these ones up. Again, these ones would need to get quad roll for me to keep them. Just not good on my account unless I get a quad roll. Like I said. Because it's only 5-star legendary. It needs to be 6-star. Or 5-star quad roll, 6-star triple roll. Here we go. Nothing there. This one would have to be triple to keep in order to re-roll. Same with this one. Most of this gear is going to end up just being binned. So yeah, so there you go. Not a single piece for Supersonic for my account in endgame. This one would need to triple in order to potentially salvage and keep. But if it doesn't, yeah, we're not even going to consider re-rolling it. So again, would need to triple in order to keep. Nope, can't re-roll that. Again, another one, triple for me on my account. I'm not going to keep it, but other people would. Personally, I know I did say I don't have a lot of defense pieces, but 5 stars just not worth it for my account. If this one could potentially triple, which it didn't. So basically no triples. That's my luck. One piece of gear on day 2 was able to be salvaged. One piece of gear. All right, so it's not bad for normal mode though. So if I take a look at all my crit damage with crit rate on my account with equipped for Merciless, this is what we have. Now, if I even tailor it closer, so crit damage with crit rate, I only have 6 pieces total. On my entire account, crit damage with crit rate gauntlets. Think about that. Think about that for a second. Crit damage with crit rate. And this one doesn't even have speed and it's 5-star. Okay? Doesn't even have speed. Right? So it's not really that strong, right? Could I rework it? Yes, but do I want to? No. Because more than likely it will not rework well. Another piece here doesn't even have speed on it. This has speed on it. Another piece here doesn't have speed on it. Another piece doesn't have speed on it. And the last piece has speed on it. So only 2 on my entire account. 2 pieces of gear. Merciless. Crit damage, crit rate, and speed. 2 pieces on my entire account. Cursed City's been out for how long? 1 year and 2 months or 3 months now. So there you go. Crit damage, crit rate. This one here, I think I got this one from normal or from hard mode. Probably from hard mode. But again, it takes a very, very long time. And normal mode can give you this great, great gear. You do not want to pass up on it. You do not want to pass up on it. Okay, so this is an amazing piece. It's going to stay on my account for a very long time. And then I'll wait for a 5-star glyph and hopefully max this out. And then I'm going to get crit damage here. Max out the HP. This is going to be a keepable piece. Salvageable piece for a very long time. Okay, so that just goes to show you how strong normal Cursed City can be. I'll come back to you to day 3 in a little bit. So sit tight, relax, finish up that popcorn, and grab yourself a hot chocolate because we'll be right back shortly. All right, y'all, we're on the final day here for the Cursed City normal mode extravaganza, baby. Let's go in here. Let's go into normal mode Cursed City. Let's get the rest of these battles going. So we left off in Soulcross. We got 2 bosses here, and then the last boss, Amius. So we got one really, really strong 5-star epic piece of gear for Merciless, which came with crit damage. Substats were attack percent, speed, and I think accuracy or something really good. And I max rolled it the other day. So let me just take a peek. I haven't put it on any champions as of yet, but I'm going to have to do some re-gearing at some point, and it will go on one of my champions. Something happened to my mouse as well, and it's going really slow. And I tried to fix the mouse speeds in my control panel, and it's not fixing the mouse. I don't know why, but if anybody has any tips, please leave it in the comments down below. So, right here, one of the best ones. It comes with crit damage with crit rate, speed, and attack percent. I did basically max this bad boy out. I do need to re-roll with Chaos Dust to get crit damage as the Ascension. And then basically I'll just end up maxing it with a speed glyph at some point. I only have 4-star right now because we're not getting lucky from Faction Wars. That'll drop 5 stars. And then I'll max out the HP, get this into crit damage. And this will go on to one of my champions forever because it's just a really strong 5-star merciless piece of gear. I don't foresee myself throwing that gauntlet out in a long time. So let's hop back in here really quickly. Let's go ahead and beat up these bosses. I'm going to do this boss on S15 and I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We've got some more merciless gear, 5-star legendary piece here. Comes with crit damage, attack percent, defense percent. So this one is one I'd want to try to re-roll if it gets a triple or quad, preferably a quad roll, and then re-roll it. This one's supersonic. Again, on my account, supersonic's not the best. And 5-star rare is not the best on my account. Another one where supersonic, I would want a quad roll speed to re-roll into. So if it's not quad roll, I don't want it. And then 6-star legendary chaos ore. This is all rewards that are very impactful on any early, mid, or late game and even end game account. This is very, very strong because you can only get legendary chaos ore from tournaments, path events, and some other events that come along the way, like the Titan events, which the Titan event for the winter only comes once a year, right? I mean, they might do a couple Titan events a year, but it's not very easy to come by unless you're winning tournaments like crazy. So let's hop into the next one here. This is the final boss for Soulcross, S22. Let's go ahead in, let's get the win, and then let's see what we get for gear from these guys. All right, we're back. So let's see what we got. We got 3 supersonic and only 1 merciless here. If the merciless is speed, it's not bad. Again, another one where we'd want to try to re-roll to get a quad roll. Triple speed on this one, if you're early mid-game, would be good. For my account, it's not going to be good. And then this one here. Now, you could re-roll merciless rare gear if you have a ton of epic 5-star. If you wanted to use the epic 5-star gear on rare merciless gear, you may end up getting something good. So that's something to consider. You don't have to do it, but I have done it a couple times and got halfway decent boots out of it or chest plates out of it. So we're going to go on to the last boss here, which is, of course, Amius. And let's see what we can get for gear from Amius. Again, I'm not going to show the fight. I'm just going to get to the end. The goal of this video was to showcase to you how much gear for Merciless you could get throughout the entire rotation, or at least majority of the rotation, because I missed out on like 4 to 6 bosses because, you know, I had to open up pathways. So that's why I wasn't able to show all the bosses. But this is kind of an example of how good normal Curse City is. And a lot of people kind of crap on it and say that you don't really get much from it, but you really can get something from it, as I have. I know it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing, especially if you're free to play like myself. So last boss, I'm going to get this done, get to the end, show you the gear, and then we'll wrap up. All right, and here you have it. Tons of gear that we get from this boss Amius on normal mode. And we did get one legendary merciless piece. That's 6 stars. So let's see what that is. So speed here, again, good for early mid game. Amazing. This one would have to be re-rolled because it's legendary 5-star. This one would have to be re-rolled, but again, 5-star gear for my account is not really salvageable. Another one that could be re-rolled, this one, speed, accuracy, and attack percent. If it had crit damage, it would have been perfect. But if this quad rolls speed, I could just keep it the way it is. Or if I triple or quad roll something else, then I'll just re-roll it with that legendary chaos ore that I got from one of the previous bosses. Another one where I'd probably want to rework. This one's Barbarians, but it's supersonic accessory, so I want to keep that. Ogren accessory, which is nice. And then another accessory, but supersonic. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek at what we've got, and let's see if I can go in and re-roll anything and get something good. So for my account, like I said, my account does not need 5-star epic from Supersonic. The legendary ones, again, I'll keep it on my account specifically if I get quad rolls. But if I don't, then I'm just going to chuck it right away. So like these two are already a chuck. I only want quad rolls if it's a 5-star legendary. Okay, there's a triple. And then potential to quad. So this could be a piece that could be potential quad, and then I would re-roll it with this legendary chaos ore. So I'm not going to do it now, but let's go ahead and get rid of this piece. So we did get another salvageable piece there. Again, this one here, like I said, it would need to probably at minimum double. Like it has to double on something for me to keep this one to re-roll. So it did double on attack percent, which is a decent attack percent merciless piece. It's reasonable. But I kind of want to gamble and get crit rate, speed, and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and gamble this one. Some people might consider keeping this the way it is and not gamble it. But, you know, this is a gambling game. I guess I could say I'm a gambling man. And we actually got a worse piece. So this piece here is trash, unfortunately. So sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. And in this case, I lost a good piece. Some people would have just kept it the way it was. If you were early mid game, you just keep it the way it is. But for my account, I'm going to re-roll. So this one has to be at least a triple on defense flat, which it's not. And I'm not going to roll it to 16. I'm not even going to try. Again, another one that would need to triple minimum to keep. And I'm not going to go ahead and keep that. So a lot of these pieces seem to be trash. Epic 5-star, another one that would have to triple for my account to keep. And I'm going to re-roll it. If it triples, here we go. It did not triple, so we're not going to keep that one. Actually, you know what? Just for giggles, let's see if it gets crit damage with crit rate speed. I have 22 of these, so it's not the end of the world. Let's see. Crit damage. Oh! Oh! That's insane. Let's go. So crit damage, crit rate, attack percent, and speed. Again, that's two amazing pieces on my account. That's crazy. I mean, that's luck right there, right? And then we would go ahead and slap two in there. All right, that's annoying. 1%, then 2%. Another salvageable piece on my account that I'll keep for a long time. It is crit damage, crit rate, speed, and attack percent, which is perfect for an attack-based nuker. This is what I'm saying. Okay, and then this one here, I would hope for a triple and try to re-roll it as well. Okay, and for laughs, because I have so much 5-star chaos ore, right? I would just re-roll it anyways for my account. It didn't get speed on it with attack percent, and I have other attack percent boots. So this one's not salvageable. It doesn't have crit rate on it. And then another one, like I said, for my account, it doesn't really matter if I keep this or not, but I just kind of roll it just to see if it gets speed, which it didn't. So it's going to be not salvageable. So two pieces of gear with the potential to get a rework on this one in the future, because I have just this one 5-star left. But who knows? If I wanted to, I could also take a look at my other 5-star gear, right? So if I look at 5-star legendary and I say, okay, well, I've got other merciless pieces that tripled, like this one, that's crit rate, but there's no speed, there's no crit damage, and there's no attack percent. So I really want speed, and I might actually rework that one because it would be better. So like this one has speed with speed, one that I kept from the past, right? And crit rate and attack percent. This one has HP percent with defense percent and quad crit rate. So this was going to be a keeper. I would want to rework this into a speed +9. And then this would be a decent piece on an HP nuker. It wouldn't be perfect, but it's better than nothing. So yeah, so this is a good piece as well. Crit damage with crit rate. No speed, but it does have attack percent, so it's not the best. And then this one here, I think I will go ahead and rework it just to see if we can get anything. Oh, I already reworked this one. Okay, so it rolled into crit rate. So it would have to quad roll crit rate for me to even potentially keep that piece. So not bad though. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Did you think it was worth the grind? Do you think it's worth putting the effort into farming normal? I, for one, think it absolutely is. And you'd be silly not to farm Curse City. And I say farm not like you can farm each stage consistently, but farm like you need to progress, right? You need to do it every rotation. You need to farm every rotation. You need to make sure it's not farm like you're farming a dungeon. It's farming like you're farming every rotation that comes through, right? You're beating every stage. You're beating every boss. You're trying to get better gear for your account. Was that gear top tier? Is it the best in the world? No, but it's really strong and helps complete sets, right? If you want to try to complete a 6-piece or a 9-piece set, you might need 5-star gear. So keep that in mind as you continue to play Raid Shadow Legends. Thank you guys so much for watching. It took me a few days to make this video because I had to span it out across a few days. So it would be amazing if you could just leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on a video soon. Take care.